Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Nosy Bystanders Live. I'm your host, Chief Nosy Bystander, and we have some updates in two stories, Shanquella Robinson's story as well as Takeoff story. So I want to get into those details because they're interesting and they answer a lot of questions that you guys had yesterday. Now, we were live on TikTok yesterday discussing some of the details, and I wanted to get into their official statement. Now, honey, I had to do some digging and I had to put on my bilingual hat because I had to make my way to Mexican Facebook, okay? And I had to do some translating, honey. So my iPhone has been working overdrive to translate all of this. So we have found the official prosecutor's page on Facebook. I encourage you to go follow them. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Because of this trial and its national headlines, we're going to be following this page very closely and doing the translating for you. So, and we're not going to put a watermark over it to gatekeep the information. So you don't have to worry. We're going to always tag this page. It is the prosecutor's official Facebook page from Baja California, Sur, and they're going to be putting out all the press releases, all the updates. Bingo, bango, we found Mexican Facebook. I'm so excited. That's so exciting because this is kind of where everybody's been looking. They're like, where's the prosecutor? And where are the updates? And da 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 da. So just doing by just a hair bit of digging, we went ahead and found his official page. We found his personal page the prosecutor uses, as well as his official office's page, who puts out all the press releases. And baby, is there a doozy in this press release? But first, let's see who's all up in the building. I see you guys coming in. Welcome. It's Saturday. Let's see who's all in the building. Then we're going to get to the translation of this post. Don't you worry, we went ahead and translated it and posted it on Facebook and Instagram. Again, there is no watermark. So if you like to share tea, if you like to send it to other bloggers, be our guest, okay? We don't need a watermark on it. Send it to them. Let them have it, okay? Because we don't gatekeep over here, okay? I don't know who got into the business, and this is just a little side note. I don't know who got into the business of putting your watermarks all over everything. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. It looks messy, and I'm going to advocate against watermarks for the duration of the Nosy Bystanders and however long we maintain a platform. Stop putting your watermarks on everything. It looks like you're gatekeeping information. It looks incredibly narcissistic because you just so proud to see your watermark all over everything. It makes it incredibly difficult to share news because most news sites don't want to share stuff with your watermark. And so it diminishes its ability to get over to larger news publications, Black owned media publications, bigger bloggers, mid-sized bloggers, and then regular people who share the stuff. So stop putting your watermarks on everything. No one cares. Pat your own self on the back, okay? Pat your own self on the back. We're not going to be doing the patting for you. So stop trying to get everyone to recognize you and the hard work you do by splashing your watermark across everything. It's tacky and it died out in the early 2000s. Cut it out. Just stop gatekeeping information. Okay, let's see who's all in the building, and then we're going to get to the translated version of this. And don't worry, I'm going to blow the screen up so you can see it. Hello, Super Cute Walker. How you doing? Hello, She Snow. Hello, Stacy. Hello, Go Getta. Hello, Sassy. Hello, Rachel. Hello, Cammy on the go. Hello, Monica. Hello, Linda. Linda says, hello, Nosy Bystanders. How was everyone's Thanksgiving? Look at her holding a conversation. Y'all better tell her how your Thanksgiving was. Don't be ignorant. Okay. Hello, Mary. Hello, Kamiko. Hello, Boss Bomb. Hello, Lollipop. Hello, Shoe Junkie. Hello, Nicole. Hello, Cherie. Hello, Portia. Hello, Ruth. Hello, Rashida. Hello, Terrell. Hello, Natalie. Hello, Just See. Just See says, hey, everyone. Why Sean says, hi, everyone. Y'all are the most friendliest people. I do have the friendliest Nosy Bystanders because I see how I'm not trying to pin us against other bloggers, but I see how mean those other bloggers followers be. You know, the Tasha K's and the Andrew Wiggins and all of them. No shade to them. Those are great people, except Tasha K. She's terrible. But I see how mean they are. The Nosy Bystanders. We ask about each other, okay? We care about y'all Thanksgivings and your little chitlins, okay? Hello, Jenna. Hello, is Is it Demaster? I hope I'm saying that correct. Demaster. Hello, Ivy. Hello, Bella. How you doing today? Hello, Aisha. Hello, Celtics. Hello, KK. Hello, Bernadette. Hello, Miss Sassy. Hello, Terrell. Hello, Mrs. Blue. Hello, Rashida. Hello, Danny. Hello, Nosy by Nature. Hello, Toilet Tish. Hello, Miss Sassy again says, hope y'all had a great Thanksgiving. We did. We did. Hello, Lexi. Hello, Faye. Hello, Cassie C. Hello, Cassie C says, happy belated Thanksgiving to everyone. Hope y'all had a wonderful. Look at y'all showing out. Y'all y'all Demaster stylist. Got you. Demaster stylist. Got that. So let's get into this document. I'm gonna blow my screen up. Okay. One moment. Let me refresh this. Here we go. Okay, I'll refresh that. Okay, so here this is. This is the official statement that everybody was quoting on on Wednesday, that came from the prosecutor, Mr. De La Rosa. And I'm gonna tell you right now, Mr. De La Rosa pretty fine, okay, if I do say so myself. So, but that's neither here nor there, okay? But Mr. De La Rosa, you're fine. Okay. So, but this is the official statement that came from the prosecutor's office at Baja California Sur, and I have the translated version. So let me switch up the screens for you so I can share with you the translated version of this document. Okay. And let me just scroll over. So here it is. So I translated it. Well, I didn't really translate it. It was mostly Apple. So shout out to Apple for translating it for us. We really appreciate you there. Okay, hold on one second. Hold on, y'all. I just got an important text message. Okay. Okay. So let's get into this. Let's get into this translation. Let's see let me see what you guys have to say. Wrong phone. Tiffany, wrong phone. Hold on. Tiffany, unfortunately. Hold on, you guys. Sorry, you guys. Hold on one second. Hold on. Not me having technical difficulties. Hold on one second, you guys. Okay, sorry about that, you guys. Okay, so let's get into this translation. But first, I wanted to get to the comment section so we can hear what you guys have to say before I read it. Some of you probably already read most of this. Okay, hold on one second. Hold on. Okay. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, you guys. Okay. Okay, so at the beginning, it says, and I'm going to pull it up on my phone because it kind of cuts the top of it off. So I'm going to pull this up on my phone so I can read it to you. So it says the origin registered on October 29th in a beach club in San Jose del Cabo. It says it clarified, said Deputy Prosecutor of Criminal Procedure from the South Zone, Antonio Lopez Rodriguez, who revealed that an arrest warrant was obtained against a probable person responsible for these events. Now it says probable persons. Now remember, that's singular, not plural. Okay. It's from Bunny. Bunny says, do they need help picking them up or something, because they got to enjoy Turkey Day with the families, and they don't need to because they didn't have to her like that. Yeah, you're right. No, they don't need help picking her up, but because it's international and it's across states, it has to be done in a specific manner. So unfortunately, it does have to be done in a specific manner. I know a lot of people hate it that it's done like that, but That's just the nature of it is, you guys. We're not talking about something that's happening here in the United States. We're talking about something that's happening with two people in place, two different countries, two levels of citizenship, and so on and so forth. Okay, so that's the only caveat, that it is occurring in two different places. But I'm going to continue. It also says that with the investigation carried out by the agents of the public prosecutor's office, excerpts and criminal investigation agents, test data was obtained that make up the investigations folder and indicated it was a direct attack, not an accident, which we already knew. Okay. Now, I wonder if they're saying that because of the video, right? I'm curious if they're saying that because of the video, or if I'm curious if they're saying that because when the FBI went ahead and reached out to some of the kids, right, involved in this, and they were like, oh, it was an accident. It was an accident. I wonder if that information got back to the prosecutors in Mexico and they were like, this was not an accident. This was an attack. So I'm curious about that. He goes on to say the victim and a group of her 6 friends arrived in San Jose, Cabo. Now that's not correct, because remember, Nazir arrived the day after. So they're going to work that out with their information going forward into the case. But again, Nazir was not there. And I think that's just because of the press statement. It says on October 28th, from the United States to vacation in a villa in the town with a fatal result that apparently caused one of the friends in grievance of the young woman. I don't know what that means, but that's how Apple translated it. But if you speak Spanish, I implore you, please go to our Instagram and our Facebook page and read that statement and let us know if that's the proper translation. It says that Lopez Rodriguez indicated that after obtaining, hold on one second, I got to pull it back up on my phone because it cuts out. It says that Lopez Rodriguez, hold on one second, I want to read it from here. Okay. It says Lopez Rodriguez indicated that after obtaining the judicial order issued by a capital judge against the accused, go to the next page. Then it says the appropriate procedures are carried out with the Attorney General's office and the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Remember, because it's overseas. It also continues and says that, so with the procedures for the extradition of the accused for the crime of femicide are carried out. So they're saying that now that we got the warrant that came from the Attorney General, or now that we have the warrant that came from the prosecutor's office here in Baja California, sir, that warrant goes to the Attorney General. Because again, you got to talk to the Attorney General if you want to do anything with extradition. And then that goes to the Department of Foreign Affairs, which is their State Department. Then they put out a red notice with Interpol. So I know a lot of you are like, well, why aren't they arresting her now? Because you guys, those are steps in it, and they put out this warrant before Thanksgiving. Okay, so a lot of people are not in office. They continue and say the deputy prosecutor for the Southern Zone Criminal Procedure stressed that in the first instance, the investigation was strengthened about who presumably physically assaulted the victim. I'm going to read that again. It says the deputy prosecutor for the Southern Zone Criminal Procedure stressed that in the first instance, the investigation was strengthened about who presumably physically assaulted the victim. However, the Attorney General's office of the State Department, essentially, of Baja California Sur, maintains investigations for everything that results, such as participants in some cover-up or some omissions, like people who didn't omit what was going on, that was made to avoid the damage that was being caused to the victim. So they're saying that not only are we looking at the person who perpetrated this crime physically, Dejanay, but we're also going to look at the individuals who attempted to cover it up. And that goes to the other 5 participants, not Nazir. So they made that abundantly clear, and I'm glad. The chief gonna run down them receipts, child. I'm gonna do my best. Okay, let me get some more of your comments. This is from Bunny. Bunny says, yeah, because the watermark boy just knows Nazir was there recording, but he couldn't have because of his arrival time. He just didn't make a good choice of finding out what exactly happened. No, he didn't know nothing. And you're absolutely correct, Bunny Buns. You're absolutely correct. This from Ebony. Ebony says they didn't take passports because the police report didn't reflect any foul play, but the autopsy later revealed the truth, but it was too late since they already flew back. That is absolutely correct. That girl, Chris, what's up, Chris? Says, hey, y'all, I've been watching a lot of folks try to speak on the story. Yours is by far the best. Thank you, Chris. We do our best to be accurate and fair. Okay. Because I only know what I know, what I know. I don't talk about what I don't know. We can talk about hypothesis of what we know, but we can't talk about things that are a fact without tangible evidence, right? Tangible means things that you can hold, touch, feel, smell, things that are real, right? So I can't talk about things that aren't real because I'm not a fiction writer, right? I'm not Stephen King, I'm not J.R.R. Smith, I'm not, R.L. Stein, I'm none of those people. So I don't live in the realm of fantasy and fiction. I can only talk about what I know. This is from Hear Her TV. Says, can you drop a link for a second nosy? A link to what? To this? Oh, let me show you here. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I'm going to share the screen where this came from because again, we don't gatekeep over here. So I'm going to tell you exactly where this statement came from. Now, the translation is mine vis-a-vis Apple, but here's where it came from. You can see this is their Facebook page, and this is the prosecutor's office in Baja California, sir. So you're more than welcome. I encourage all of you, go follow their page. Make sure you turn your notifications on. This is the office who is prosecuting Dejanay, and you're going to want to make sure 100% that you follow them because they could be posting stuff. Well, actually, they're in my time zone, so they're going to be posting stuff directly when I wake up. So, but you're also going to want to post them in case we miss it and you want to send it to us or you want to send it to other bloggers so people can have the facts of the case. They're also going to tell us how we're going to be able to watch the case if it goes to trial, if there are going to be any court reporters in there, if there's going to be any televised television on it, and who's going to be the news site we're going to be able to stream it, right? Telemundo or CNN Mexico or any other large news publication that's going to be able to do that. So this is the direct link to the prosecutor's office who is handling this case. You're going to want to follow them. And let me blow my page up a little bit more so you can get their name. If you can't get their name, that's okay. We went ahead and reshared this post on our page, and I encourage you to go follow them. You can see they only has 63 likes on this because the story is not a big story in Mexico. So most people are not quite familiar with it, right? So you can see it's got 16 shares, 63 likes, 11 comments, right? And one of them is me. So most people don't even know that this is the office handling her case. You're going to want to follow this office. This is the office you're going to want to follow. Don't listen to nothing that comes out of anyone's mouth. That includes myself, unless it comes from them. Okay? And let's just keep it abundantly clear. Do not trust anything that comes out of anyone's mouth if it didn't come directly from them. If anyone says anything outside of what they said, they're lying to you. Don't believe nothing. Okay? Don't believe anything. Because all of this fake misinformation that has been floating around about Shanquella's case has all been coming from that North Carolina Beats character and other people following in his position. If it didn't come from the prosecutor's office that you now have a direct link to, don't believe it. Okay? It's that clear. And that is what we're going to be going forward with on this entire case. Do not send the nosy bystanders anything that did not come directly from the prosecutor's mouth. If it didn't come from his mouth, I don't want to hear it. If it didn't come from his office, I don't want to hear it at all. Okay? Because I am done with the fake misinformation about her story. I only want to focus on the evidence and I only want to focus on the facts. I only want to focus on the people prosecuting Dejanay. That's it. That's it. That's all. Like so like that, according to Tabitha Brown. Okay? That's it. That's all. Like so like that. Okay? So this document is insane. So they are going to go after other people. And they're said exactly what we hypothesized yesterday. We said that they're using Dejanay as their conduit to the other people. And they have enough purgative laws to go after them if they attempted to lie to the police, attempt to kind of scapegoat, right, backtrack out of their culpability to her case, why they didn't help, while they watched, why they were filming, and they were breaking it up. So they're saying we're going directly after the friends too, and they listed them. They said the 6 of them. Now through evidence, they're going to realize that Nazir probably had nothing to do with it. He was being lied to as well. But that's going to take time to go through the case. They're going to try to implicate each other, but I think they're going to just kindly forget that Nazir was there too. But they're going after everyone. Okay. Let me get some of your questions. It's from Gina. Gina says, I've seen a report that showed that she checked in $10,000 at customs. Is that fake news? Probably. Because I didn't see that. And there is nothing that comes from customs themselves, right? Did it come from TSA? Did TSA say that? If TSA didn't say that, that's not real. It's just not real. Okay. TSA didn't say it. I don't believe it. Okay. I don't believe it. I only believe in official documents. I'm not believing in anything else. This from Elizabeth says prosecutor's office is corrupt. They are not. And let me explain to you why. This is an international crime. The United States and Mexico are literally brothers and sisters when it comes to all things that include trade and any other deals. The United States has added immense amount of pressure to the state of Mexico to make sure this case is solved or at least brought to justice. Mexico, no matter how much corruption you believe that is in this prosecutor's office, is not going to jeopardize deals that they have with the United States, right? Which is a big bulk of most of their GDP. They're not going to jeopardize that to continue corruption. They're not going to do that. So, unfortunately for you, this statement is false. Okay. I don't see them doing that. That would be weird that they say, okay, I want to take a few backdoor deals. So I'm going to jeopardize $20 trillion in GDP just so I can just not do it. I don't think so. I don't think one office is going to be able to jeopardize the bulk of the GDP for the entire nation of Mexico. But okay. This is from is it Lottest Iron says, why are the officers being investigated when I did see that on a news site? What news site? I have not heard anything about that. If that was included, that would have been included in the statement. But the prosecutor did not make mention of the doctor or coroner's office, as well as the police department, the Cabo City Police Department. He could potentially make that, but until you can show that from the prosecutor's office, I don't believe it. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to sound mean, but I have to go with the people who are handling Shanquella's case, not some mysterious news site. Does that make sense? I got to go with what we know. This is what we know. Here's the prosecutors. I believe the prosecutors. It's that simple. This from Elizabeth again says, yes, that is now, but not on October 29th. There's much more interesting in protecting tourism in Cabo. Correct. Not just tourism, but everything. Their deals with the United States, everything. So it's just not about tourism because the Baja California Sur region, that region state, that's just a tiny region. But the State Department and the entire nation of Mexico is involved. So it's not just that little region, it's the entire country. So yes, and yes. This is the Ebony. This from She Snow says, I know they shaking in they boots. Honey chow. This from Vinyl Hoochie says, I know the non-aggressors are sweating bullets. It can't be good. It can't be good. It can't be good. Olivia says, any word from the friends in question? Is that? No, she's not missing and she's not on the run. I want to make that abundantly clear. She's not neither of those things. Because she doesn't have because none of them have an online social media presence doesn't mean they fled the country, you guys. It just means they don't have an online social media presence. It's that simple. This from Tanya. Tanya says, however, on the document that was showed, it does say anyone who is trying to avoid punishment, so that could be the doctors or the nurses, etc. Could be, right? That is a good inference. You can infer that. I would support that inference. I would. But again, it's simply an inference. That's it, you guys. It's nothing else but an inference. But I do support it, and it is scientifically backed. Your inference is definitely scientifically backed. So yeah, I support that inference. Can I prove it? No. But there's enough information there's enough speculation to suggest your inference could be, right? What could be the case? It could be the case. Okay. This is from Toilet Tish says, no, see, did we figure out how the report of November 1st leave? They left at the end of their vacation days, so they did not change their flight. They left when their vacation days ended. Future lawyer, she's good. No, I got into law school, but I didn't go. I put my eggs in the basket of buying a media company. That's where I put my eggs. But thank you. This is from Ben Zone. Says, hear her, no problem. I'm getting mine done too. What you getting done, girl? This is from Kayla. Says, hello, everyone. The fact that you're even acknowledging the potential cover-up is a huge deal, in my opinion. Y'all, it's not that I'm opposed to conspiracy theories. It's just that because we use a scientific method to apply everything that I say. So when we make a hypothesis, that's a real thing. When we make an inference, that's also a real thing in science, right? Inferring on something, and how can you make that supposition, right? That assumption. You do that based off of what the evidence is suggesting. But saying wild things like, "Oh, she had $10,000 and they stole it," There's no way to infer that. There's no proof that she had that much money on her when she arrived in Mexico. There is no paper trail to show she has that. There is no bank statements to say she withdrew $10,000. There's nothing of the sort. So I can't make that supposition without evidence to suggest it. Now, if someone produced a bank statement from Shanquella's bank and said, at the time of the trip, right prior to the trip, she did pull out $10,000. Now, we don't know where it is, but she definitely pulled it out. And could that have been something to cause all of this? Yeah, but there's no proof that she even had $10,000 at her disposal. So why would I make an inference so wild, right? I wouldn't. And the fact that people keep making that, it's a little bizarre to me. It's a little bizarre because I'm like, where did that come from? Oh, some regular degular Facebook page said it. Did they prove that? No, they didn't prove it. So it's not that I'm opposed to conspiracy theories, but I make inferences, I make hypotheses based on the evidence. And the inference and hypothesis is simply to fill in the gaps, but it doesn't mean that I'm making up random denotions, right? It doesn't mean that I'm making up random things and then building my hypothesis. I'm using the evidence that's already there. Okay. Hope that helps. This is from Bunny. Bunny says, I can't remember who was the one saying we have but was Malik. But Malik, yes, it was him. But you guys, that statement was made in jest. And so if you've never heard that statement before, right, what does it mean to say something in jest? It means just to say something. I don't think it was a plot. I think it's just really bad timing. Okay? It's just really, really, really bad timing. That is about it. That's about as much as you can take out of that statement. That altercation, that tussle was not planned or organized, but everything subsequently after was. So him making that statement on her Instagram story was really bad, and it was really bad timing, but it was not absolutely not done as a premeditative approach to her untimely demise at all. And anyone who infers that, right, say, oh, he was plotting against her, is a crazy person. It's just a bad joke with really, really bad timing. Okay. Hold on one second, you guys. Hold on. Sorry, I had to listen to something. Yes. Okay. Let me get to some more of your comments. This is from Bunny says, okay, so this needs to be one of those shows like Fatal Friends or something, or Snap. I can't wait to hear what exactly happened because they go and talk. Oh, absolutely. You're absolutely correct about that. They're definitely going to talk. This is from Breeze. Hello, Breeze says, okay, so what happens now? The warrant has been issued. Why no arrest? Because it's international. So first, it has to go to the State Department. It's Thanksgiving weekend. So the Attorney General and the State Department are probably not going to get it till Monday. They're going to get it and approve it. Once it gets approved, it goes to Interpol. Remember, we talked about Interpol earlier this week. Interpol is an international police order. They're located in France, and they're the biggest police order in the world. And when the State Department in Mexico receives that warrant and approves it, then that goes to Interpol. So Interpol is the one who puts basically just a big warrant out for the world to see. And it goes to every single member nation, which includes Mexico. And it's kind of like putting your face, you know how like you have like those planes that fly around and says, when you propose to your spouse, they're like, I love you. Imagine putting your face on a plane, but it's intercontinental. So it goes around the entire globe. So everyone sees that message. So that's what Interpol is going to be doing. They're going to be taking that warrant and that she's going to take that warrant, and then they're going to broadcast it around the world so everyone can see it, just in case Dejanay has left the nation, which she has not. There's no indication that she left America, but because it is a two-state, when I say two states, I mean two nations, right? So we're talking international, we're going to be talking about states, and a lot of people get that confused. So when we're talking about two states, in the midst of having one of them having a warrant out for another person in that other state, it has to be an international affair. So it's going to be a two-state solution problem. And Interpol is going to be the one who's going to take her photo, her information, what she did, and who's looking for her, and they're going to put it on this red notice, which is basically just a mug shot, and it goes across the entire world. You're wanted worldwide. And you would be she'd be one of 3 of Mexico's most wanted. Crazy. So that's what Interpol does. They classify you as your most wanted. The United States has 58 most wanted, having 10 at the top 10. And Mexico only has 2 most wanted, and Dejanay would be their 3rd. So she'd be their 3rd most wanted person in the nation. It's crazy. Whew. Could you imagine being most wanted by a nation? Whew. No, I can't imagine. This is from Elizabeth. Hello, Elizabeth says, have you heard any of the articles from Gerardo Zuniga, the Mexican investigative reporter? If so, what do you think about his work? Well, he is a reporter who has been reporting this. So he has been reporting everything that we couldn't find that is directly connected to the prosecutor's office. So now that we found the prosecutor's office, Gerardo, shout out from Nosy Bystanders here in the United States. You've been doing a fantastic job. But now that we found the official prosecutor's page, his work here is done. So I appreciate him. I do. And he's done a great job. Thank you. This is from Eldora says, I believe everything I'm hearing because I don't trust Mexican cartels. Mexican cartels has nothing to do with this case. So I don't know. I didn't like that statement. I felt a little anti-Latino. So be careful how you say stuff over here. Okay. Because this case has nothing to do with the Mexican cartel. Okay. So just be mindful about what comes out of your mouth, because that's and I'm not even Latino, but that just sounds incredibly offensive. Okay, it does. It sounds a bit offensive, and I don't know why you said it. This is from Benzone says, I would have stayed with the body and sang like a bird, a lark. If you want to know the name of the bird, I am not going down for anyone. Child, neither am I. I would have told the parents everything. Not Nazir, because he didn't know nothing, but anyone else in the house, I would have most certainly told. Now, you guys, I want to get back to some of your comments on this case and this report, but let's talk about, I want to do a quick update on Takeoff, okay? So if you guys have not known, Takeoff, the 3rd member of the Migos, was brutally slain on November 1st, and no one has been arrested in the connection of this case except for yesterday. He goes by the name of Joshua Cameron, and here's his arrest warrant. He was charged with possession of because he is a felon and he's not allowed to have one. Now, the crazy part is a lot of people are like, that's not him. He's not in connection with the shooting of Takeoff. Funny enough, he was apprehended yesterday in connection to a case, a pew pew case, on November 1st. And Lil Cam was at that event on November 1st. Interesting indeed that they put it into this notice. This is the indictment. You're more than welcome to screenshot that and send it out. There's no watermark on it. Don't have to worry. We don't gatekeep over here. So you're more than welcome to have it. I don't care, because we pay for the documents, so we don't care if you use them. But yeah, this is it. And they made it very clear that no, this is in connection to a pew pew case on November 1st. Now we know where Lil Cam was on the November 1st, so we can infer that this is the Takeoff case is probably what he is in conjunction with. I wonder if he's going to talk. Here's my thing about this whole case with Lil Cam. I don't think he knows much. I think he was in possession of a pew pew at the time. I don't know if he discharged it and it hit Takeoff. But so much was going on. I don't know if he knows much. Let's be honest. I don't even know if he really knows if he actually, because it didn't say he discharged a weapon. It doesn't say he's in connection with the death of someone. It just says he had a pew pew when he shouldn't have. So I'm curious if it's just to bring him in so they can kind of help with the layout of the room, because again, the police, they don't know who was there. They know Quavo and Takeoff was there, and they know Jay Prince was there, or Jazz Prince, whatever his name is, but they don't know all the other key players who were there. So I wonder if they brought him in on this to get him to help them lay out what was going on. I think the situation is too chaotic. I think Takeoff, even though his death is labeled a homicide, it definitely was an accident. I don't think he was directly, like, people were directly kind of going after him. I don't think that. But when you spew something wildly into a crowd, you don't know what you could hit. So I think my inference is I think they brought Little Cam in to help them, like, right? Like, if this was the event and who was here, who was standing here, who were these people, who did you come with? I think it's really to help them lay out a timeline and a diagram of everyone, like all the key players in different positions. I don't think Little Cam is in there because he is in direct connection to Takeoff's untimely demise. I think it's really to be like, okay, who was standing here at the door and who's that guy? And you see those two girls stay there. Did you know them? Did you come with them? Okay, now who was standing here? Okay, because the 818 billiards and ballroom or bowling alley, they have cameras, so we don't have access to those cameras and no one released them. But I know the police did, and they probably just like tell us who were all in the room. That's what I think. That's my inference. That's the update on that. We'll keep you. We're gonna keep you guys updated on what's going on with that whole situation with Takeoff, because he was my favorite Migos, but I don't think Little Cam is in there because he is in direct connection because he is the pew-pewer. I think he's only in there because I think they just need help with kind of figuring out who everybody is. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense to you guys. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay, good. Let's get some of your comments. This is from Brown Delight. Hello, Brown Delight says, I saw online they pulled the cameras from the bowling alley the night the Takeoff pew pew showing. He had it loaded and he was so he may do ballistics on yeah. That's a great inference. Brown Delight. It's actually not a good inference, it's a good hypothesis. Absolutely. This is from Linda. Linda says, do you think that all of the have been having a group chat to cover their buttons? Who? The Little Cam with Takeoff situation or the Cabo 6? If they do, okay. The Cam situation, probably not. Those are street dudes. They're probably not. But with this situation with the Cabo 6, 5, I call them the Cabo 5. If they do, I hope it's encrypted. I hope it's encrypted. I hope you're using WhatsApp or Signal to have conversations. I'm just saying, because do you know how crazy you'd have to be to send that through via text? Any conversation like that via text, you'd have to be a crazy person. You would. You'd have to be. I hope you're using encryption. I'm not trying to tell you how to get away with, a crime. I'm just saying, I hope they're smart enough to have encrypted their messages. At least I would. I hope. This from Vinyl Hoochie says they're trying to probably get a statement or an informant. I think an informant. I think both. Vinyl Hoochie. And I'm talking about the Takeoff situation. I think they're trying to get both. Well, actually, both situations are really kind of synonymous, right? They're trying to get a statement and an informant on the Takeoff situation, and the same with Shanquella, with Dejanay. Yeah, they want all the smoke, and they want all the tea. This from Ebony says, oh, that's not for me. Sorry, Ebony. This is from Tanya. Tanya says, I heard that Cameron did do what they accused him of, but it wasn't and his security allegedly was the one that did the Pharaoh. What is the Pharaoh? What does that mean? Interesting. This from Bunny says they can't be that. But then again, I don't know. They left the girl there and took her suitcase. So who knows? Yeah, they didn't take her suitcase. They brought her suitcase home to her parents. They didn't take it in a sense of trying to steal her stuff. No, they brought it back to her mom. So I want to just make sure we clear that up. Like they didn't like take it. Does that make sense? Like they didn't. The mom admitted they brought it to her. So I don't want people to think they just outright just snatched it from her, because they didn't. They did not. Um, all of them, both cases, Takeoff and Shanquella's case. Smash that like button, y'all. Don't be ignorant. Yeah, this the I'm glad. Today is good news because we found the prosecutor's Facebook page. They have an active Facebook page, honey. They be on there posting stuff. They got over probably nearly 50,000 followers. So they are going to be active on there posting all that stuff. So I'm just really glad that we found their page so we can get direct statements from the prosecutor. I'm so like, y'all don't understand. When I found this statement, I was just so happy. I was like, oh my gosh, no more misinformation, no more who is this person, no more what did he say, no more can I see the pre-translation, no more none of that. We found his Facebook page and it's current and they post on it quite regularly, sometimes 3-4 times a day. So I'm very, very much happy that we are able to find their page so we can get direct information from the prosecutor himself. I don't want any more third party. I want it directly from him. So I'm very happy we found it. And thank God it's 2022, honey, because we can translate this without having to hire somebody. And this is from Marcia. Marcia says, do you think if she was by more than one person, there will be an argument made regarding the chain of causation, although controversial? There could be. I don't know how the prosecutors play that out without evidence, but I'm sure if 2 or more people say, yeah, but Dejanay wasn't the only one. Malik jumped in too. And if everyone says Malik jumped in and Malik said, I didn't jump in, but everyone's saying he did, the prosecutor makes a concise, he deduces the fact that you probably did. You probably had a hand in it because of what everyone else is saying. Now, everyone else is going to obviously clean themselves up. But at the same time, remember, lawyers have to understand formal logic, right? So what is the likelihood that 5 people are saying Malik also jumped in, but Malik being the only one who said he didn't jump in, and the other 5 people are being questioned in separate rooms with separate investigators? It's probably pretty rare that they're all have telekinesis and they all know to say, throw Malik in it. It's not likely. So Malik is probably, just based off of simple deduction, he's probably the one lying, and he probably has more to do with this. Can I prove it? No, but I do have the statements of other 5 people saying he did jump in and kick her in the foot or something. So the prosecutor just uses standard deduction, like, can I deduce this down to being the truth? And yes, and yeah, it's just formal logic. Formal logic can teach you that. But yes, great question. This from Being BJ says, why are you calling them the Cabo 5? Nazir is accessory. He is not an accessory. You probably, like, now mind you, I want to say this first. Your comment is up here, so you might want to delete it. It might be a little too late. You could literally get sued. So you probably don't want to call somebody an accessory without any evidence. Okay. You said, albeit after the fact. Again, you don't know that. You have not said allegedly, and you have made him an accessory to a crime that you have no evidence on. And now you've implicated yourself in a potential lawsuit because you are calling somebody something that has not been proven by a court of law, either here in the United States or in Mexico. Be real careful. Be real careful, Being BJ. Don't be silly, because we're not going to get sued on your behalf. That's all you. That's why I'm leaving this comment up nice and long. So if he does come across this video, or if Nazir does gather attorneys and they do gather this, you're going to be one of them. I would not be going across the internet implicating people in crimes that they did not commit without evidence, because you can, as a private citizen, get sued for slander and defamation. And here is probably libel. So be real careful about walking around real proud and tough, calling people things that you have no evidence and no basis for, because you look silly. And if you think by just leaving comments in the comment section of people's videos means that your hands are clean of that, you'll be sadly mistaken. Okay? So before I could even read the rest of your comment, I definitely have to let you know that this is a statement from you, not the nosy bystanders, and you have decided to implicate somebody in a murder that you have absolutely no idea what the evidence is involving him. So be for real. Okay. Then the rest of your statement says he was complicit. You don't have evidence of that. And giving a false narrative. You don't have evidence of that either, because clearly you don't clean the wax out of your ears. That police report actually lines up perfectly with Nazir's statement. So either the police and the entire Cabo Police Department are lying on the behalf of a Black man from Charlotte, North Carolina, or we can infer that both of them are probably telling the truth. I don't think a bunch of random regular cops in Baja California, sir, are going to break their necks for a 25-year-old kid from Charlotte, North Carolina that they don't know. Are you sure? Would you like to delete this? I would encourage you to delete this. This is from Doug. What's up, Doug? Doug says it's really brown. It's really blown me out of the water that the so-called boyfriend in pink is an ex. He lied and misled the bloggers too. Listen, Doug, that boyfriend, and we're going to use that term incredibly loosely, okay? So when I say boyfriend, don't be like, Steph, that's her ex. Steph, she ain't talked to him, okay? The term is being used loosely. The boyfriend, he made a statement that I didn't quite feel comfortable with. He stated that when the blogger asked him and said, hey, how come you didn't go on the trip? He said, well, she had passed away the next day. That didn't answer the question. He asked you why you didn't go. And his answer was, she passed away the next day. I was a little perturbed by that answer. And so anything that he was going to say after the fact, I definitely wasn't going to believe. He also stated that, and they took $5,000 from her. I'd be hard pressed to think he did. Right? We don't know if that's her boyfriend and he has access to her credit cards and debit cards. He didn't liquidate her bank account, allegedly. I'm just saying, we don't know that. That's what I'm just saying. We don't know that. He just threw that out there like, oh yeah, they took 5 racks. How would you know that if you didn't go? How did you know that? His statement was weird. Doug, I'm with you. Okay. Doug, Doug, we're right here. Okay, Doug, you and I, we hear. Okay. We hear, because it wasn't jiving with me either. And I don't have enough time to dig into his statement, but I think I want to go back this week and kind of, you know how we do. We'll shred it apart and we'll analyze it to the bone. It's only a 10-minute interview. It'll take us like that to do it. But there's something about that boyfriend, that term I'm going to use loosely, that I didn't. Yeah. How he know? He don't know. He don't know. He do not know. He do not know. He do not know. This from Tanya. Tanya says, do you think it's possible that the prosecutors have a tape showing that Winter is one of them who did the final, and they just have not told us yet? Could they be coming for her instead of Jackson? No and no, because just using basic deduction, you already know that's not true. Because if they had both videos, why would they come after Winter and not Dejanay? That would be unusual. They would have came after both of them. Why? They don't got nothing to hide, right? They would have came after both of them. So it's safe to infer that it's Dejanay. There's only one video that exists, and it's only one person. If a second video existed, they would have also included they would have said 2 direct assailants, not one. They said one specifically. They would have said 2. So no. But yeah, don't think that way. Just go with what you know. Okay, Tanya, go with what you know. You guys are going to have to give that Winter video a rest. You're going to have to give it a rest until it surfaces. Okay? As far as we know, it's not real and it doesn't exist. We only go with what we know. Right? We can't placate to things we don't know, because it sends you into a mental tailspin. And now you're searching for stuff that doesn't exist. And now you're trying to prove a nothing, right? You're going out there trying to prove things that don't exist. You can't go based like that. We can only go with what we know. What do we know? There's one direct aggressor and there's one warrant. It's safe to assume that direct aggressor has the warrant out for their arrest. Not a presumed one, not one that was made up by North Carolina Beats and Shanquella's father. Not any of that. Okay? None of that. There's only one. Okay? And if Shanquella's father did have that video, the FBI would have had that video. The FBI would have sent that video to the State Department, just like they did the first video. They would have no reason to not give it to the prosecutor. They already gave him one. They would never be like, no, he doesn't quite need the second one. They wouldn't do that. So when the father said he saw the video, it's probably cap. I don't want to call her father a liar, but it's probably not real, because if it is real, why does the prosecutor in Mexico not have it, right? So it doesn't make any sense. I think it's just something that the North Carolina Beats was feeding to her father to rile him up. And I don't know. I can't explain what that was, but it's probably not real. Does that make any sense? It's probably not real. So I think it was just hyperbole. I think it was just hyperbole. I think it was just, I'm sorry. I think it was just hyperbole. I don't want to like make her, I don't, and this is not to slander Shanquella's father, but when you have that proximity to someone like the North Carolina Beats, who is incredibly unhinged, you cannot, and especially her father being in an emotional state, you cannot be listening to stuff that comes from a hyperbolic blogger, and you being in an emotional state, because you're inclined to listen to what they're saying. And the fact that North Carolina Beats is walking around telling people all these kind of wild, salacious stories that are being disproven day after day after day after day, and her father's just eating it up. When her father says something, you have to be able to decipher, did he get that from him? Did he get that from North Carolina Beats? And is it because he's in an emotional state? That's why he got it from him. Do you understand what I mean? It is not to question the father, say, oh, the father's a liar. He's just in a current emotional state right now. So anything that you tell him, he's going to believe. That's why it's important to only go with what we know. If we continue to go with this narrative that there's this video of Winner, you're going to make her father believe it. You're going to make him believe it. You have to stop saying it across the internet. You have to. You're giving him this false sense of information, and you're giving him a false sense of justice. All of you have to stop. You don't understand how bad you're making it for the families by continuing this narrative of talking about things that aren't real. Just go with what the prosecutor has said. He's got one warrant and one direct aggressor, nobody else. And when he does find other aggressors, he will release that information to you. But you're going to have to stop going with these wild accusations, these wild stories, these fantastical voyages. You're going to have to give it a rest. I'm not reading any more comments about any more hearsay. If it didn't come from this prosecutor, I don't care. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't. I do not care. If the prosecutor didn't say it, I don't believe it. I'm sorry. And you'd be like, Steph, you're so mean. You got it. No. I think I've given everybody 10 days of the wild theories, of this, of that. I've been nice about it. But from this moment on, I cannot take it anymore. I can only go with what the prosecutor says. If the prosecutor is asleep in his bed and he ain't said nothing, then I'm sleeping in my bed and I'm not saying nothing. He is the only one who has direct evidence of this case, and he is the only one I believe. I don't believe nobody else. Unless one of those Cabo kids come out and say something, but because it'll come directly from their mouth. Unless somebody was able to find evidence to the fact or to the contrary of something tangible. But I'm not going to keep playing around with conspiracy theories. I am tired. Okay. Don't look at me. I haven't combed my hair. I look beat. Okay. Y'all, I'm tired. Okay. Get your girl a rest. All right. Please smash that like button. Okay. It's 670. I'm sorry. It's more than that. Wow. It's about 800 of you in the building. Smash that like button. 800 of you in the building. 800 of you in the building. Smash that like button. Okay. But yeah, so no more conspiracy theories. No more, you guys. I'm tired. You can visibly see I'm tired. Okay. Cut me some slack. It's from iCallie. What's up, iCallie? Says that he told that he would, but he's still trying to piece it together. The police made some errors in their reports because they were trying to use what they were recorded at the time that they believe was to be the at the end of the code. However, me was able to get a real time of what the liver temp was examined. What time was that, iCallie? Let us know. What was the time of that? This from Bodala says that's why it's important to speak on what we can prove. Yeah, because all this other stuff is getting. You said following his page now. Yeah, follow his page. You're looking at you ain't got to lie to me, Craig. You ain't got to lie to me, Craig. Okay. You ain't got to lie, Craig. You ain't got to lie. Okay. But I appreciate that. This from Nina. Nina Love says, there have been a lot of crazy stories and people claiming to be relatives. One of the couple's 6 and the craziness goes on. Child, it's been going on, honey. This from Chrissy. What's up, Chrissy? Does the prosecutor rely on others for information? They are not out doing the investigation themselves, and one individual is arrested now. However, throughout the investigation, things may change. One person is not arrested. One person only has a warrant out for her arrest. There's been nothing from the prosecutor's office, nor has we been able to see anything through Interpol that her red alert was issued or that she has been apprehended. So we know that to not be true, at least about her arrest. But yes, the prosecutor does rely on everything, but he has to vet that information. He has to vet it and publish it, not us. Okay, so I'm taking that burden and I'm giving it to the prosecutor. So listen, y'all are more than welcome to call his office. He has a U.S. number and he has his office number literally on his page. Call him with these conspiracy theories. Okay. I know for a fact he will take everything in because, again, he's trying to placate to the United States. He wants to maintain good relations. Do it, blase, skip, boom, boom. Okay, call him with that. I'm for real. I'm not. That's not a joke. He takes in tips. Call in his office and quit calling mine because I think I dealt with y'all long enough with the conspiracy theories. Give up the ghost to prosecutor what's his name? Dang, what's his name? I gotta go back. Hold on, I want to go back. What's his name? Daniel De La Rosa. Okay, give it to Mr. De La Rosa. Give it to him. Give it to Daniel De La Rosa. The conspiracy theories. Okay, Mr. Rosa, if you're listening, they coming. So I just want y'all to know. I just want him to know, Mr. De La Rosa, they coming. So turn your open that inbox and let them in. Okay. Let him in, De La Rosa, because y'all driving me crazy. I'm kidding. You guys aren't driving me crazy, but the conspiracy theories, they do have to stop. He said, how long do you think it will take for the authorities to capture the wanted? Y'all, they capture you all day. She's not in hiding. So they have to put out the red notice first. So we have to make that abundantly clear. Although Mr. De La Rosa, he's so cute. I think he's a cute prosecutor. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna be for real. He's just, I don't know, he's got an authority about him. You could just tell he's just like, you could tell he don't play that. So you could just tell he don't play that. Like, I don't play that. Like Carisha be saying, I don't play like that. I don't play like that. So he looked like he don't play like that. But remember, although he has the warrant, he has to give it to his attorney general and the State Department, Department of Foreign Affairs. He has to give it to them first, and they have to approve it. Now, again, he probably gave it to him Friday, and they'll probably have it approved by Monday. Then it goes to Interpol. Okay, it goes to Interpol. I don't think Interpol did. Yeah, the Mexican government did have an Interpol for the United States citizen. It was what's that one guy's name? El Chapo. I heard you're not supposed to say his name out loud. But they did have an Interpol alert for because I think El Chapo has like quadruple citizenship. I think he's a citizen of the European Union, he's a citizen of Mexico, and he's a citizen of the US. El Chapo had bread, y'all. So they issued a red alert for El Chapo in the United States and abroad because he's got a ton of passports. But yeah, so they have to issue that red alert. It has to come first. They will capture her, but the red alert has to come first, you guys. You can't obfuscate the red alert. It looks like it just, and you're probably like, why do they need a red alert? They don't already know where she's at. Because when it goes international, now here's me putting my political science hat on. When it goes international, you have to maintain, especially for two neighboring nations who are besties. The United States, Canada, and Mexico are literally the triplet besties. It's like every nation wants to be like the three of them. They are besties. They are global besties. So because you got your bestie involved, you have to maintain international relations. Okay, you have to maintain good decorum. It's just about decorum. So think of the red notice like you're going to a a debutante ball, right? You're probably not going to go in blue jeans and Air Force Ones, right? You're going to maintain a level of decorum simply because you're at the debutante ball. So imagine the red alert like that. And the Mexico and the US have to maintain good relations. And the United States like put out a red alert because that's proper etiquette. And Mexico's like, okay, we'll put out a red alert. It's just proper. That's all it is. It's not really quite necessary because it's just a name only, but it's good etiquette. If the Mexican authorities went and picked Dejanay up themselves, that's bad etiquette. That's like putting your hand in somebody else's plate. So you gotta just do proper international relations. So the red alert is what the United States considers proper etiquette. You can't avoid good manners. That's why it feels like it's taking forever. It also happened right before Thanksgiving. So that etiquette is going to take a little bit longer. But it's proper etiquette, you guys. You can't get around it, okay? It's like, it's like blowing your nose without a napkin. The United States would be like, ugh. You know what I mean? So you have to have the red notice. They can't go get her without that notice. They have to have the red notice. The red notice means that they went to the State Department approved it, then it went to the US State Department, and then it went to our Attorney General, Merrick Garland. He approved it. It goes to Interpol. They're like, proper etiquette has been made, put out the notice. That's what it means, okay? That's all it means. That's all it means. You said protocol, yes, but the proper protocol, proper international relations. You do not want to go against it because it looks bad. And the presidents will get involved if they find out their state departments are not acting with proper etiquette. Because if Joe Biden and the president of Mexico get involved, it's not going to look good. It's not going to look good. So they have to follow proper etiquette, okay? This is from Mia. Mia says, with the warrant out, is she able to turn herself in? No. So even if she turned herself in, she wouldn't be transported to Mexico until that red alert is made. Again, proper etiquette. So even if she turned herself into her local FBI department, it was like, okay, I think there's a warrant out for my arrest. They couldn't do anything with her because they don't have the warrant yet. You're like, you're probably right. They're gonna recognize her face immediately when she walks in the building. They're like, oh yeah, they looking for you. But as of right now, this very second, on November 26th at 7:03 Mountain Standard Time, the federal government does not have a warrant for Dejanay Jackson. So even if she were to walk into a federal building and turn herself in, there's nothing they can do because proper etiquette has not been initiated and proper etiquette has not been finalized. So then you're like, yeah, I'm sure you do. Are you Dejanay Jackson? We know you do. But there's nothing we can do with you now. So go home because we don't have the paperwork to get you. The paperwork has not crossed international lines yet. So there's no paperwork. So there's nothing they can do. Okay. There's nothing America can do. So even if she is, they can't hold her. Nothing. They can't do anything with her. She's about as good as free at this point. Okay. So you got to have all of that. You got to have all of that. This is from Gina. Gina says, if I was Dejanay, I would turn myself in. Child, I run. I ain't gonna hold you. I'd book it. This from E. Ortiz says, how can a woman commit femicide? Because femicide has nothing to do with the aggressor's gender. It has to do with the victim's gender. That's why. But great question. Great question. Evening from the DMV. What's up, Jacqueline? How are you? This is from Tawana. What's up, Tawana? We just now seeing you? Oh, that question's not for me. This is from Turek. Turek says, have you heard of the alleged voice recording from Winter's IG Live? Yeah, it's not real. It's not real, unfortunately. I'm sorry. Sorry to burst your little bubble there. This is from Gina. Gina says, she has to be going crazy waiting. I know I would be. Child, I'm booking it. She shouldn't even be waiting. I mean, I'm being for real. I'm just being black and for real. Girl, what are you doing sitting? Chill. The moment I got home, I'd have booked it. That's just on me. Is that wrong? Yes. I don't know why they got off the plane. Why didn't y'all just keep going? The moment that happened, My plane was already my ticket was already transferred to Russia. My ticket was already transferred to Russia. Do you hear me? If that fight occurred and I was just in the proxy, whether I was the direct aggressor or the person in the room, my flight would have been changed to the CCCP, honey. Please. I'm going where there's no extradition treaty. I'd have went to the Philippines. I'd have went to Myanmar. I would have went to China. I would have went to Taiwan. Come on. I'm going where you can't extradite. I'm going where you can't extradite. That's where I'm going. I'm not going to Mexico's best friend's house. Come on, man. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Yeah, Interpol's worldwide, but Interpol only works like the UN. So if you're not a member of the UN, anything the UN says has nothing to do with you. Does that make sense? So whatever the UN says has nothing to do with you. So Interpol is the same way. If you're not a member of Interpol, even if they put out a red notice, if you're not a member of it, you don't care that they put out a notice. It ain't got nothing to do with you. It's like, ain't got nothing to do with me. Ain't got nothing to do with me. It don't. You don't have to abide by it because you're not a member of Interpol. This is from Chokma. Hello, says the arrest warrant and the request for a red notice, I believe is what you're trying to say, are basically them asking for her head. Yes, and they will get her. Wow, so graphic. Just turn yourself in. She doesn't have to turn herself in. The United States doesn't have a warrant for arrest. You guys, they don't have an extradition order. They don't got nothing. She can't. You guys, we have laws here in the United States. We can't just hold people. We just can't just hold innocent people. Okay. I know that sounds crazy, but without a warrant, without an extradition notice, without a red notice, she is innocent in the eyes of the United States until they receive those items. That's just how our Constitution is. Heck, she's still innocent to her trial. Okay. But the United States isn't in the business of holding people without paperwork. We're just not. Okay? We're just not. We're not in the business of just holding regular random people for fun. Okay? We're just not in the business of that. Now we used to be. Okay? Don't get me wrong. I'm fully aware of slavery. Okay? But not now. And not the federal government. They're really not in the business. They don't got nowhere to hold you. Okay, they don't want to hold you because they don't care. I think a lot of people keep forgetting about that. The United States doesn't care about this case. The United States cares about, they're like, ugh, people are knocking on our door. Mexico, do something. Okay, so the United States doesn't care, and they're really not in the business of just having people just, hi, yeah, I think there's a warrant out for my arrest in Ireland. The United States like, okay, well, we didn't get it, so go home till we get it. Then we'll come get you. That's just how it is, you guys. I know it sounds like very cut and dry, but I'm trying to make it as seamless and understandable as possible. This is from Bunny. Bunny says, Jackson. Oh, it's not for me. I hate Facebook does that. This is from Heather. Heather says, Cuba would have sent her back because they want to reestablish interest back in the U.S. Yeah, I wouldn't have went to Cuba. That's for sure. They definitely want to reestablish a relationship with the U.S. No, I wouldn't went anywhere without an extradition treaty. I'd have been Googling. Listen, I'd have been Googling who doesn't have an extradition treaty with the United States. And that's exactly where my plane would have landed. That is precisely where Stephanie Hall would have ended up, where there was not an extradition treaty. Okay. Because I may not know a lot, but I know political science, honey. And I'd be like, which countries does the U.S. not have an extradition treaty? China? On my way to China. Oh, yeah. I'm here for ESL. Teach English to a bunch of Chinese, grad students. Hide out. China don't care. They'd be like, oh, the U.S. said you did something. Well, we're not going to extradite you, but we see you. And that's exactly what it would have been. That's exactly what it would have been. That's exactly how China would have treated it. They're like, ain't got nothing to do with us. Just don't do nothing dumb here. Okay. And Russia with the same thing. They were like, we don't really care too much for the U.S. So just don't do nothing stupid. We're going to watch you. Okay, they're gonna be like this on you, but just don't do nothing stupid. That's all they say. That's just how it is, y'all. I know it sounds pretty dumb, but this from Melanin says, can the U.S. ban them from using their passports? Yes, but not without that notice. The US cannot do anything without proper paperwork. It's just bureaucracy. So they can stop them, but they can't do anything. Now they can put alerts on their, now there's definitely alerts on their passports, right? To signal when they are registering their passports for flights and trips. And the US is going to step in like, yo, where you going? Okay. But they can't stop them. But they can get alerted when they do travel. Like, where's Dejanay going? They can't stop her because they don't have the proper paperwork to stop her. And they probably would try to drum something up, put some pressure on Mexico, like, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. We need it. She's got a flight and we can't stop her, but she's got a flight coming up in a couple of hours. And we need that extradition treaty now. Give it to us. We're going to go stop her. But if they don't produce it, then there's nothing they can do. She just got to board her plane and go. This from Jacqueline. Jacqueline says, you have to have money to make these type of decisions to hide out. You do. But if you're smart, most of those decisions you can make can be really cheap. You just got to be smart. That's good. That's a good assessment there. This is from Chokum. Thank you for super chat. Says she ain't no Asada Shakur. Cuba would have rejected her. This is from Blaze 106.91. What's up, Blaze? Says she ain't Trump. The U.S. ain't going to bend any laws for her. They ain't. This is from Just Me. Hello, Just Me. Says they don't have the money to do that. You can do it cheaply, you guys. Don't ask me how I know that. I just know that. And the last statement here is from YNV. YNV says, Chief, you're going to give them too much credit. Fleeing to a country without extradition is over their head. You're right. You're absolutely right. We're gonna keep you guys posted. Here's the prosecutor. He's the one covering the case. Please go follow him on Facebook. This is where you're going to get the live updates. Just below, if you go to his mentions on his Facebook page, he actually has prosecutor's office listed below, and they're going to be putting out all those press conferences and everything and all the up-to-date minutes on this case. It's important to go follow them. And if not, we went ahead and reposted them on our page here on Facebook. The Nosy Bystanders. And so that way you guys will be able to see his page and his pertinent information, because that's where all of the information that we're going to be getting is coming from. Thank God we found the page. I'm so excited that we found it because I want to hear it from his mouth. I want to hear it from his mouth and the mouth of his office and his deputy prosecutor, attorney Rodriguez. So I want to hear it directly from them. We're also going to be keeping you guys updated on the Takeoff case and so on and so forth. Tomorrow is Sunday. Believe it or not, we'll be back for our Sunday service. We call it Sunday service, even though we don't start it till 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, but we'll be back tomorrow for our Sunday service, and we'll be discussing more of this case and more news. Okay. So I am your host, Chief Nosy Bystander. I appreciate you guys being here. Please come back. Let me read the super chat from Chokum. Slid it in right at the very end. Said her head means bring her body to court. Thank you. I appreciate that. So we'll be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern for the Nosy Bystanders Live. I'm your host, Chief Nosy Bystander. You guys have a wonderful night. We'll be back again with more news. I really wanted to get into that debacle because I got a thing or two to say about Sierra and Kelly Rowland out here supporting Chris Brown. If you haven't seen, Chris Brown did not perform at the AMAs, and everyone came out into support of him except Karrueche Tran has an active restraining order against him, and she presented a ward at the show. And because she presented a ward, Chris Brown couldn't perform. Talk about support her. That's all I have for you guys. We'll be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. You guys have a wonderful evening. Good night.